The following podcast is recommended for mature audiences only. The following podcast is recommended for adults only. Maturity is not a requirement.
Welcome to Men Podcasted Badly. This is a podcast about old and forgotten games that we've played and want to share our thoughts with you. We play games that we've chosen to play, we've chosen for each other to play, and games that you, the listeners, have chosen for us to play. This week, we are playing games that you guys have picked for us at random. We used our hats to pick those games. How you doing, Sketzz?
Yeah, all good, man. Not too bad. How are you doing?
Yeah, mate, I'm not too bad. Not too bad. I've had a bit of a week this week.
It's Monday.
Well, last week. Yeah, see, it's already been a hell of a week. Cheers, mate. So, I got a surprise package this week, Sketzz.
Oh, you said about that a couple of days ago, and then I completely forgot about it.
And you have no idea what it is.
No, I don't. Are you going to tell me?
One of our dear listeners,
Yeah.
I said I was going to shout him out, so I'm going to say his name, Paul Stone. So I used to work with him when I was living in Southampton. He's an avid listener of the podcast, and he thought he'd try and help us out. He's got us Star Wars cups and a 100-meter ball of string.
100-meter ball of string. Oh.
So he did ask, how long is a piece of string? It is now 100 meters. But there you go, mate. So we'll have to set it up. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. That's awesome.
I better get back to training those pigeons. Oh,
Yeah.
Christ. But yeah, so yeah, there we go. That was a nice little surprise for us. I was really intrigued though, because I kept on getting messages from him saying that I couldn't open up one box until I got the other. And I got the first box on the Wednesday and had to wait until the Friday. So it's just sat on top of my microwave and I was just staring at it every day like, what is this? And it's like, it's to help you with the podcast. I was like, I have no idea.
Well,
But
we'll close Discord down and set that up and use that to talk to each other, shall we?
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
I love the fact that it's Star Wars cups.
Yeah, I think he probably done that intentionally.
Yeah, good man.
Bastard. Love you really, Paul. You bastard. I would have preferred Star Trek. Or you could at least got ones with Jar Jar Binks on. Obviously, the listeners can't see it, but I think it's a black dude, Darth Vader, and I guess the white guys. I don't know who the white guys are.
Stormtroopers.
I was going to say Star Troopers. Oh, I'm
Star
glad
Troopers.
well, I've now made an idiot of myself anyway by saying it. But yeah, there we go.
They're the ones who fought all the bugs.
What, the Stormtroopers?
Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers. The bugs?
Yeah. Oh, come on, you must have seen those films.
Is that no. No.
Never mind, I'll probably cut that bit out then, because that was lost.
No, didn't know. So, you been up to much in your last week?
No, not a lot, really. Same. You're going to keep asking me this, aren't you? You're not going to keep saying the same thing? I'm still stuck at home. Can't go out. Not allowed to go out.
Not allowed. You been playing anything this week? Reinstall anything lately?
Yeah, I did. Reinstall both Underlords and Heroes of the Storm.
That lasted long.
Yeah, I have been really enjoying Heroes of the Storm as well. Again, though, yeah, it's good.
Go on.
So, when I jumped back onto it, so I didn't play it for about 3 years. When I jumped back onto it, I had a look at my match history and statistics and everything, and I had played 1,500 games on it. But they were all just quick matches, pretty much. I think I've played about 30, what are they called?
Ranked?
Yeah, about 30 ranked matches. And that's it, because I hated people who were playing it. They just kept shouting at me. But yeah, I suppose they just angry when I wasn't picking the people they wanted me to pick. And I'm like, well, I don't know that character, or, I'm actually good with this character. So, it's fine.
Why are those games so... I don't think poisonous is the right word.
Toxic is the right
toxic,
word.
Toxic, that's the one. Toxic.
Yeah, so my favourite character in it is Krysiz. He's a healer. But at the time, people hated him. And you know, most games you get like 10 placement matches just to see where you should be in the ranking system. I think I played 8 games with Krysiz and I won 7 of them. But even that eighth game, people were flaming me, saying like, "What are you picking him for?" It's like, well, I got 100% win rate so far with him. That's why.
Yeah, I don't get those games.
Yeah.
Well, I do get those games, but I don't get why people get so toxic on them. It's well, like I've always said, I've played for fun, and the second the fun starts going out of it, that's when I stop.
Yeah.
So that's why I can never play League of Legends on my own, because it was through fear of playing a game. I mean, I never thought I'd ever experience that
Yeah.
fear of playing a game, but yeah, you get too many toxic assholes, and
Yeah. I don't
fuck
think
League of Legends now. I ain't playing it. Well, unless my mates are playing it, but
How has Call of Duty been?
yeah, it's been okay, mate. It's not been
Yeah.
too bad. Yeah, we haven't had any W's this week. I don't think there's really a lot to report on the Call of Duty front. I have started playing Battlegrounds though.
What?
Battlegrounds.
Battlegrounds.
Yeah,
Oh, that
well,
was a
you
good game.
originally got me involved in that. You
Yeah.
got me hooked up on that. But yeah, no, I've been really enjoying it. As you well know, I watch Crip like every night before I go to bed. So he
Yeah.
normally puts up 2 new YouTube videos a day,
Yeah.
and that's
Okay.
my normal like going to bed viewing. So I've watched so much of it that I thought, right, I'm actually going to go give this a go now. Hopefully, my mind is full of all these ways to win. And
Yeah.
it wasn't.
It wasn't?
No.
Oh, no.
I think I got 2 8s, a second on my first attempt of playing. So the second wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But it's just really difficult to like play Menagerie on that. Like, I watch him
Right.
play it, and he makes it look so simple.
Yeah.
But I just can't do it. And if you can't really play Menagerie, then you've got to stick to one class, and it's just difficult if you don't get the cards. So
Yeah, I get that.
I don't know. Shall I talk a little about what Battlegrounds is, or
Probably, yeah, because
Yeah.
it was never really took off that much, did it? So a lot of people probably won't know what it is.
it's a Hearthstone expansion, isn't it? I guess it's an expansion of Hearthstone.
Yeah, it's a new game mode. I think it's classed as.
Yeah, it's along with Arena and Tavern Brawl, but I don't play any Hearthstone. Well, I did a while back, but it wasn't really for me. But yeah, it's basically you start off with, well, I don't really know how to explain it really. You start off with a shop, and you get 3 gold, and you need to buy a card, and it goes in tier values. So you start off as level 1, you pick a card from 3 out of the shop, you buy that card, and then you play that card. That card is then yours, and then that card battles for you against 7 other opponents. Throughout the game, you get gold for each round you play. So it goes round 1, 1 gold, round 2, 2 gold, 3, round 3 gold, and so on. And at certain points within the game, you can level up to the next tier, which would effectively then give you better cards to be able to pick from the shop. It's all random, so you still may go to tier 2, but get a selection of tier 1 cards from the shop. And you just basically try and build up your best deck, I guess. You can hold a maximum of 10 cards in your hand, which I only found out the other day. There is a hand limit on it as well. And it's demons, mechs, murlocs, beasts. They've brought dragons into it now, which is pretty cool as well. And then you just get like the odd cards from Menagerie.
Yeah, I've not played it since they brought dragons in.
Have you not?
No.
They bought, well, I guess you wouldn't have seen like a lot of the new heroes they brought in as well. So, so obviously, sorry, I say obviously, when you start the game, you pick a hero, and different heroes have different abilities. For example, Dancing Daryl gives cards in the shop +1/+1 for every card you sell back to the shop. So people have a tendency to stockpile. But yeah, so I've always enjoyed watching the game, and I played it quite a bit when it first came out, and I was quite successful. And then sort of fell out of love with playing it, but continued to watch Crip play it. And then this week, it's sort of, I've completed the battle pass on COD, and if you don't get a win on Warzone, it gets a bit you get a bit downhearted on it. So I turned that off and thought I'd play some Battlegrounds, mix it up a little bit.
Cool, yeah.
So yeah, I've been enjoying that this week, mate.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a card drafting game, really, isn't it? And you just got to collect sets of the same card and sets of the same class.
But yeah, man, so I've been playing a bit of that this week, and not as much COD. I didn't really turn my PC on much over the weekend. We had our poker night Saturday night, didn't we?
We did, yeah, that was good fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, we'll get another one sorted out for that. We used the old house party, and I'll tell you what, that poker thing we used online was good as well. Poker Club, I think it was.
Yeah, that was just just a browser thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. But then 3 of us were out within 15 minutes, which was
Yeah.
good. So it was an extra 30. No, Shane didn't buy back in.
No, he didn't. No.
So yeah, 2 of us bought back in. So that was an extra 20 quid in the pot within 15 minutes, wasn't it?
It was. It was. The game lasted a lot longer than what I thought it was going to as well.
After that, yeah, I think everybody started to play a bit more conservative, though, didn't they?
Yeah.
Seeing how quickly you can go out
it was
and lose a
quite-
tenner.
It was a funny old night. It was a funny. I was fucking pissed by the end of it though. I woke up yesterday with like the worst hangover, and the only way I could defeat the hangover was to start drinking again, which was a bad idea.
Hair of the
'cause,
dog.
I woke up feeling even rougher this morning. Wasn't good. Wasn't good. So, thank you, Matt Dunbar, for the pleasure of Shaq Fu. There is a reason why this game is forgotten. It's dog shit. There's no other way to put it. So yeah, I drew Shaq Fu out of the hat, and I'm never going to play the game in my life, to be honest. It was absolute crap. Apparently there's quite a following as well around on the internet that Shaq Fu is such a terrible game that someone put out a thing or a website that he would buy every copy out there and burn them all because the game was that shit.
I'm sure I played it when I was younger, and I thought I enjoyed it, but I can't remember anything about it. So, to be fair, it might have been awful.
It's fucking terrible. So, Shaq Fu, I played it on the SNES. It was made in 1994, and it was published by EA. I don't know what EA were doing themselves publishing this piece of shit. I'm surprised they didn't go bust.
Nothing changed. They just published shit that requires lots of money to keep playing.
Well, I think the story has it that they signed up all these big sports stars and then realized that they couldn't get them to play basketball and stuff like that because they didn't. So, for example, in Shaq's case, basketball, because they didn't hold the license. So they had to then make up a game for Shaq to be in.
Really?
Yeah, and it happened with multiple other big names as well. Apparently, this is what I hear. The word on the street has it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But mate, I don't even want to talk about this game. It was that fucking dire. When you load the game up, you've got the chance to do the story mode. You can do a tournament mode, which I'll get back to in a minute because that's fucking dreadful. And you got a duel mode. So the duel mode is like the ladder matches. You remember on like Tekken? You used to like start off your first fight and then work your way up the ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a bit like that. The tournament, you pick eight players basically. You have 8 players.
Right.
And I think it's for like when you have your mates over sort of thing. One slight design flaw.
Everyone has to be Shaq.
Well, they only made 7 characters.
Oh.
So why didn't they go through the effort of making one additional character so everyone could have a different character?
And they could have made it like the same character, like Ken and Ryu, just different clothes.
It would have been that simple.
Exactly the same moveset, pretty much.
But yeah, no, they didn't, mate. They only made 7.
Yeah.
So someone had to play a duplicate character. And then the story mode is just dreadful. Absolutely dreadful.
What is a story?
Do you want to know?
I want to know what the story is, yeah.
Just don't fall asleep on me. So basically, Shaq's in Japan. He's got an NBA All-Stars game. He's playing that night for charity. In the daytime, he's like, I'm going to go for a little walk downtown Japan or downtown Tokyo. So he's checking out the sights. And as he's walking down the street, he sees an old kung fu dojo.
Yeah.
In the dojo window, he sees a mysterious old man.
As you do.
Of course, mate. Yeah. Yeah, it's of course. Do you get that a lot in Tokyo? Maybe Mike Ferris can answer that question for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike, is there a lot of dojos in Tokyo? I don't know. But so he sees this old dude in the window, and then Shaq's inquisitive, so he goes into the dojo. Some old dude just starts blowing smoke up Shaq's ass, basically, saying he's a big warrior and from the stars. I mean, fucking cheeseball, isn't it? Like, Shaq turns around and goes, "Well, I'm from the All Stars, if that's what you mean." And I'm like, okay. And then the old dude starts rambling on about some kid, Nezu. Apparently, Shaq's been sent to save this kid, but Shaq doesn't know this, of course. Shaq's just innocently gone in this dojo. So yeah, pretty much, he lifts back this curtain, and there's a portal, and literally a portal in the back of this dojo, and it goes as straight as this. Shaq goes through the portal. Shaq's like, okay, I'll go through the portal. I mean, who in their right mind would walk through a portal in the back of a dojo? I mean, firstly, why is there a portal in the back of a fucking dojo? And then secondly, I wouldn't walk through it. Would you, Sketzz? I don't.
No, ask Bill. Bill might.
Yeah, Bill likes walking through portals, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So yeah, you for some reason you agree to go and try and help this kid in the zoo. You don't really have much choice about it. And he walks through this portal, and it looks like Japan, or how I guess Shaq thought Japan would look like. I don't know,
Right.
But you literally turn into this little dude, like a little miniature guy, and it does look a little bit RPG. Maybe that's why you enjoyed it a little bit. But it's like it reminded me of Zelda. You know, like the bird's eye view. And it goes like, it's just a land mass. And you've got 3 different areas on this land mass. A river, and then more land mass. And then you've also got a little picture of the dojo. So you literally control Shaq to run around this bit. There's no enemies or no nothing. It's just like an open bit of plain with, I can't remember what it is now, Catwalk Falls, Vagabond Temple, and Gargoyle's Peak, which are these 3 areas. Basically, you move Shaq across the screen, and it will just highlight up the name of this. You press your action button, and then you go into battle with whoever's there.
Cool. Before you go on, can I stop you? We should probably explain a bit more about what we said about Bill. So obviously, it was a bit of a nod to Bill with that portal thing, and most of you listening won't have a clue. Bill plays D&D with us. We came across this
Billy Morgan.
Yeah, Billy Morgan. I wish I knew what the name was, but we accidentally let this ancient dragon loose out of this prison. It's like on a different plane of existence. And Bill just decides to poke his head in to have a look, and he gets sucked in, and his character was just instantly dead. There is a way to get him out, but he's probably gone insane. You probably went insane within 24 hours of being in there.
It was something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I can't really remember because I drink at D&D. I don't make notes.
How was your notes looking for Aladdin?
Well, mate, the school bus was very productive this afternoon. I am going to run with that every time now.
Cool.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, so sorry.
No, that's cool, man. No,
it's
a good idea.
Yeah, I don't want too many in-jokes for people who haven't got a clue. So I just thought we'd let you know.
You guys can all come in on the in-jokes. It's all cool. So yeah, you got these 3 places on this open land. One of them's called, I've already gone through them, but Catwalk Falls. Basically, you click the action button, you then go into battle, which effectively looks like a ripped-off Catwoman. Her name's Karuri or something, and she's impossible to kill. Well, I say impossible to kill. Yeah, she was impossible to kill. I couldn't kill her. It was hard. So I lost that one, had to use a continue. You get 2 rounds. I'll get more into the actual structure of the game or whatever in a bit. You then go to Vagabond Temple. You fight a prince called Raja or Raja. I don't know. He was equally hard. He has a sword or something he could swipe you with. And then Gargoyle's Peak. You face Gargoyle, who effectively looks like Skeletor crossed with the Green Goblin. That's the best way I could describe him.
Okay, cool.
And his name's Memphis. That's a very gargoyle name, isn't it? Memphis.
Yeah.
Or Memphis. But yeah, the controls were crap. The gameplay was crap.
The game is crap.
The game is crap.
The graphics are crap.
Graphics are crap. Don't ever play this game, basically. That is the message I'm sending to you. Leave this game in dust, and if you own a copy, burn the fucker.
Or send it to the guy who's trying to get all of them.
Yeah, Google that guy. I played the game for 40 minutes, mate. I'm not going to lie. I played it for 40 minutes and I just couldn't bear it anymore. I thought against each one, I tried the Gargoyle guy twice, and I beat him once. So I thought, oh, I've beaten him. I'll go back and try the Prince, and lost to the Prince. Well, I tried Catwoman again, lost to Catwoman again. It's crap. You get like, so there's a Fury bar. So underneath your health bar, it's a Fury bar. I'm assuming it's something to do with special move. The AI, computer control guy, was pulling off all these wicked ass moves. So I was like, how the fuck do I do stuff like that? There is nothing to tell you what to do. I guess it had a manual back in the day.
It probably would have been in the manual.
I could have Googled the manual, but it wasn't even worth my time, to be honest.
That probably would have been crap as well.
Yeah, most likely, mate. But yeah, fights last between 30 and 60 seconds, depending on who you're fighting.
And how good you are.
Or how good you are. Fury bars seem to fill up the more damage you take, so I guess it gets you to your special move quicker, which I thought was quite a cool mechanic. Whereas normally it's done by damage dealt, isn't it? I think in other sort of fighting games, the more damage you deal, the more your bar fills up. Mate, I don't really know what else I really want. I mean, I could ramble on about how shit this game is for hours, but I don't know if I don't know if the users would really appreciate that. The users, listeners would really appreciate that.
Yeah, let's get it done. Bugger off.
Yeah.
But you did remind me of something when you said about the bar underneath and you had to fill it up for a special. You reminded me of limit breaks. Did you get around to playing Final Fantasy VII again this week?
No, mate. I've had a bit of a shit week, and I've had a few things that I need to deal with, so I haven't been able to give as much time as I would have liked to the podcast over the last week. But yeah, sorry, man. I will get into Final Fantasy VII again. I was talking to Cookie about it again today in work. He was even questioning me about it as well. I definitely want to get back into it, and I'm in a bit of a better headspace now, dude. So yeah, man, I will get back onto it and give it a couple of hours every time at least, probably more than that once I get into it, and it'll give me something to talk about, and something for us to talk about. And when I finally get to the bit, which I still don't have a clue what the bit is.
No, and it might be a little while until you do.
I'll get there. I'll get there slowly but surely, man.
Yeah, the suspense will just build up and build up.
But yeah, so no Final Fantasy VII, and again, thanks Matt Dunbar for ruining about an hour of my life with Shaq Fu. There we go.
So, we're waiting for the train to go past.
Do you want me to close the window?
No, I'm going to leave that in.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, man, that was Shaq Fu. Sorry, go for it.
The same as a couple of episodes ago, I had one good game and one bad game. Right, I had Earthworm Jim and Echo the Dolphin, and I reckon it's going to be the other way round than you're thinking.
So I would have said good game Earthworm Jim.
Yeah.
Bad game Echo the Dolphin.
Wrong. Earthworm Jim is awful. I know I'll probably upset a lot of people out there. It's hard, man. I should probably look at my notes. Oh yeah, so the first thing I wrote was, it's a stupid game. So you don't get any kind of storyline with it as you're going through at all. You know, I love that in games. I love the storyline. That's one of the reasons why I play RPGs.
Shaq Fu had a storyline.
Yeah. Probably why I enjoyed it. I mean, there is a storyline in Earthworm Jim, but I had to Google it. I mean, that might be in the manual as well. I don't think I ever really saw storylines in manuals growing up. Not that I can think of, but it might have been in there. It doesn't seem like you get any kind of storyline going through the rest of the game. I got to like this third level. I don't know how many levels there are, but anyway, yeah. So you start in New Junk City. It's called. You got a gun, and you can use your head or worm bit at the end.
Worm bit
as a whip, you know. And I couldn't do the first boss on my first playthrough at all. It's just so difficult. I didn't even get to him the first couple of times, actually.
Did you not? Can I just...
Go on.
What was Earthworm Jim the cartoon based on?
Earthworm Jim. It came after the first game.
Earthworm Jim, what, the cartoon came after the game?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was going to go into that later, actually. Not the cartoon, but I was going to go into it a bit.
Okay.
Later, anyway. So yeah, I'll get there.
Oh, I'm enjoying. I'm looking forward to that because I thought it was a cartoon first and a game.
No.
Oh,
So when you first start up, you can see like it's a 2D platformy game. You can see like power ups and extra lives and stuff like just sort of the other side of walls or whatever. So it's kind of a bit of a puzzle to try and work out how to get to that other side of the wall, which I quite enjoyed. You know, I like puzzly games. There was a few times that I didn't even get to the first boss to start with. But once I did him, hang on, what was the first boss? I can't remember. Oh, it was some weird robot thing. Yeah. So once you did him, similar to your Super Star Wars thing, there's like a level in between levels.
okay.
So you jump on this little rocket ship at the end of the level and you fly off the screen. So you're just sort of flying forwards towards the screen. You just go press left and right to avoid these rocks that are coming at you.
Yeah, okay.
And so I was just going along, plodding along, just avoiding these rocks, thinking this is easy. But I thought maybe it is meant to be easy because it's at the beginning of the game. I was going for about 2 or 3 minutes and I wasn't even a quarter of the way through this flying level because it had a little thing on the side saying like start and end.
Yeah, okay.
So apparently it was a race, which I didn't realise to begin with. And so at the end of that, you've got to fight this guy. I think his name is Psychro. It turns out he's a bounty hunter, but I'll get into that later as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, after like about quarter of the way through, I can't remember which button it was, one of the buttons, and you go fast. And I was like, oh, this is handy to know. There was no way I was going to beat him from there, but I think I died not long after that anyway. So the second time I went through it, I pressed the button from the beginning and I beat him, and I didn't actually have to fight him because I beat him. I just went straight into the next level. It kind of reminded me of No Man's Sky. Did you ever play that?
I never played it, but I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's like that never-ending space game, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So when I first got that, I did the first little bit on the first planet that you're on. You collected a load of resources, and I thought I'll fly to another planet. And I got myself set up to get to the next planet, and it worked out it was going to be about half an hour to get to this planet. And I was like, right, that's fine. This is what this game is all about. It's massive, so it's going to take you a long time to get to the planets. About halfway, I'd wandered off and did something in the kitchen at this point.
Right.
I came back to it. I realised it was exactly the same in that you could speed yourself up and you'd be there within like 20 seconds or something. But I thought, yeah, so it was pretty ridiculous that I was sat there thinking this is going to take half an hour between planets, and you just have to wander off and do something every time. But anyway, I'm going off on one. Something I remembered when I was playing this one. So the second level, it took me a few attempts to get through that. That was just, I can't remember what it's called now. It was some fiery level, like you're in some kind of volcano by the looks of it. There wasn't too... Oh, hang on. Oh, that's all I said. That's all the notes I wrote. It took me several attempts to get through the second level as well. Got to the third with one life. Okay, yeah. That's all there was, yeah. So, then I'm going to talk more about it. Yeah, I did the second level. It took me quite a few attempts again. I think there was only one continue in this. And then I had to start from the beginning again.
Bloody hell.
Which was quite frustrating. So I did the whole thing probably 4 or 5 times. And before I managed to actually get through to the third level. There's another space race thing between that level as well. But it's quite easy once you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then the third level, I got there with one life, died immediately, and I was just like, nah, I ain't doing this again. It's hard, man. It's such a hard game.
I'll have to have a play on that, because I think I played it when I was younger, but I can't remember it. Can you use his head to, like, swing?
Yes, you can, and that was difficult to do as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it was difficult to get the timing right, because there was a slight delay pressing the button for him to actually whip, so you had to time it just right.
Right, okay. Yeah, I can't really remember much about the game.
So it did have me wondering if there was some kind of a storyline. Have a guess. How do you think I found out if there was a storyline? Or my first attempt to find out if there was a storyline.
Watch the intro.
You are absolutely correct. That's exactly what I did. I didn't think you were going to get that.
Ah.
But yeah, so I just sort of left it sat on the opening screen.
Yeah.
And just left it just to see what happens, because sometimes it gives you something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I completely forgot games used to do that. I did wonder why, actually, before we get into it. Because obviously they don't do that anymore, do they? You've got to go and select.
Oh, yeah, you get the option, don't you, with most games these days?
Yeah, at a guess, I would say it's just so the start screen didn't burn into the screen
Ah,
with
maybe,
those
yeah.
games, with those TVs at the time.
Yeah, because I guess like it's like the old CRT monitors, isn't it? You had to make sure you had to keep on pressing the refresh button on the old CRT monitor.
Yeah,
I guess the TVs were built the same.
yeah. So, yeah, so that bit, it didn't actually have any sort of storyline in it. It just a preview of about 6 or 7 different levels, which was quite cool.
Okay.
So I actually got to see what the other levels were. They looked like they got much harder than what I'd played. That's one of the reasons why I just didn't bother with it again. I just thought that I'm not going to get much further than where I got to without hours and hours and hours of practicing, knowing exactly where everything is.
I think that's one of the key things with when we play these games, though, isn't it? I don't think we're playing them to complete them. It would be nice to complete them if we can, but
Yeah.
it's just to get an idea of what the games were like and how they played, whether we
Yeah.
enjoyed them or not, I guess. And you can get that out of like the first 3 or 4 levels of a game. If you want to carry on playing it, then you know you've enjoyed it, sort of thing. You don't necessarily
Yeah.
have to go on to complete it. Like you're saying, if a game's stupidly hard to play, then you're probably not going to put your time and effort into trying to complete it.
No, but then it's the same as you said. It's like you said last week, when you would buy a game when you're younger. That's the only game you'll be playing, so you will be happy to play it for weeks on end trying to complete it because you spent good money on this game.
Yeah.
I think they were still like 30-40 quid back at the time. 30 quid probably. brand new.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's why I mostly rented games from Blockbusters, because it was a cheaper way to play them, wasn't it? It was like £3.50 and you get the game for the weekend or something, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, and I think these games needed to be harder for longevity.
Yeah.
Needed to be quite hard.
I'll move on to that later with Aladdin.
All right. It seemed like a lot of the levels were sort of different play styles as well. I mean, there was one where you're just sort of bungee jumping and you're fighting this ball of snot, it looked like. That was weird. Another one, there's an escort mission, by the looks of it. And escort missions are hard in any game, let alone in a hard game already,
Yeah.
So I wasn't looking forward to getting to that level if I was to keep trying. I did some digging to find out exactly what was going on. Like I said earlier, I still don't know if it actually shows you in the game. The guy you're racing against in between stages is an intergalactic bounty hunter. He was on a mission to deliver a super suit.
Oh.
He lost it somehow, and then that was found by Earthworm Jim. So then he jumped into it, and that's how he's got the robotic suit. And he uses it for good.
Wow.
And the people you fight along the way through the game are trying to get the suit back, by the sounds of it. And you're on a mission to rescue a princess.
Oh, really?
Her name is Princess. What's her name? that's her name.
I like that.
The ending seems quite funny, actually. One of the first things you do, I think a lot of people will remember this. One of the first things you do in the first level is you drop a fridge onto a log that fires a cow in the air, and it's just all it says after that is cow launched.
I think I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
And I remember thinking during playing it, like, I don't know where that cow has gone. It doesn't come back. There seemed to be no purpose to it. There was a purpose to it.
What's the
It
purpose
lands
of the cow?
on the princess at the end. At the end level, it lands on the princess and squashes her.
So what? You can't actually save the princess?
No, well, I mean, it seems like she doesn't really pay you much attention anyway. You try to get her to save her, and she's just like, nah, go away.
No wonder she didn't deserve a name.
No. So you start walking away, and then this cow lands on her. Her crown falls off towards you, and then Earthworm Jim goes back and collects it, and he's like, "Oh, this is a prize at the end of the game. Then it's a nice, expensive crown."
Nice. Nice. I'm surprised he didn't crown the cow. That would have been good.
Or they fall into lava, I think.
Oh.
Off a cliff somehow.
Oh, roast beef.
But so go roast beef.
Cow.
Yeah. So going back to what I said earlier about like how I got this information, there was a really cool video that I saw. It was basically, I watched it earlier today. It's like a 10-minute video on YouTube, and it basically is like what happened to Earthworm Jim. Why did it sort of ultimately fail? And it talked about, so there was 4 games altogether. I only knew of two of them. The third one was a 3D game. A lot of other franchises were going to 3D with Mario 64. So they basically knew they had to. I mean, there was a lot of publisher changes at the time as well, so it was going through a lot of crap. But yeah, it just didn't convert to 3D very well. That the team behind it didn't do it justice. Like you said, there was a cartoon after the first one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this video was really good actually. I think I would say to a lot of people to go and watch it. It's like we said before, there are a lot of people out there that are better than us with this kind of thing. You know, we're here just for a laugh.
Yeah.
You know, there's people on YouTube doing it for trying to do it for money. So they put a lot more research and effort into it, and they're probably better at portraying it than us. So
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely go and watch that video. Maybe we'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting. I really enjoyed it.
Okay. That's a good find,
But
mate.
obviously,
that's a good find.
Listen to us first.
Of course.
I believe that is all I had to say about Earthworm Jim. It was fun. You know, there's a lot of weird, random shit going on, which I believe is one of the reasons why it was so fun, because it was just so weird and random.
Yeah, man.
Like it's like with that cow. But yeah, no, I didn't enjoy it because it was so fucking hard. You know, and I mean that was on the easiest difficulty as well, and it was hard.
Fuck. Wow. Fair enough.
I doubt many people out there would have completed it. They might have done. I could be wrong, but yeah, I don't think many people would have.
No.
So if you did, congratulations to you. It's fucking hard. But yeah, I didn't enjoy it. Yeah, so
Earthworm Jim.
That's final. That's all I had to say about Earthworm Jim.
Oh, thanks.
I wanna get to Echo. Echo was a good one, and like I said, that was I think that might surprise a lot of people.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you very much.
No worries. Anytime. Well, not anytime. Every other Monday.
Every other Monday. Brilliant.
But yeah, that was that stupid game. That was Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim. Okay, dude. Well, the second game that got drawn out the hat for me was...
Oh, bugger me. I forgot to say who said it. Sorry, Dave Hill. That Earthworm Jim was requested by Dave Hill. Sorry, I should have added that in the first place. We should have known that because 3 of the games we pulled were from Dave Hill.
I think the rest of them are from Dave Hill. So yeah, I pulled out Aladdin, requested by Dave Hill. Some fun playing this game. It was on the Mega Drive, it was made in 1993, and it was published by Sega. And as we all know, Aladdin is a Disney game. I now believe that Disney games on the Mega Drive are notoriously hard, because this game was hard. But yeah, the story has it that you need to stop Jafar, and guess what, Sketzz? You got to save the princess.
Jafar is in another castle. Oh,
no.
The princess is in another castle.
No, not this time. Not this time.
Oh.
But no, you got to save Princess Jasmine before Jafar does some evil things. I don't quite know what those evil things are. I didn't quite get that far into the game. I struggled with it. It's a fun game, really fun game. It's as fun as I remember it being. So if anyone's out there wants to have a go on a good old Disney game, I highly recommend Aladdin. But it's it was fun. You start off in Agrabah Market. I love the fact that like when you start the game, you've got like the typical Aladdin music. I'm pretty sure it's a whole new world playing as the same tune, but it's obviously in some sort of old, I don't know, you'll probably know the right terminology for it. And when you listen to the intro I've recorded for you, you'd probably be able to say what it is. But it's obviously not.
Well, I want to say 8-bit, but
I was going to say
Mega Drive
8-bit,
and
but...
SNES was 16-bit, but the 16-bit music doesn't exist, so probably 8-bit.
I was going to say that.
Well,
I would have been right.
16-bit might exist. I'll have to have a look at that. But yeah, 8-bit is the more popular
Yeah.
term.
We'll go with 8-bit.
Yeah.
We'll go with 8-bit.
Colon open bracket were an 8-bit band, I believe.
I have no idea what you're going on about.
The smiley face.
Ah!
That was their name. Colon open bracket.
Brilliant.
And I'm pretty sure they did a lot of 8-bit music.
Ah. Well,
Carry on.
Yeah, I've learned something
Aladdin.
new.
Sorry.
So yeah, you start off in Agrabah Market. Play start, you obviously controlling Aladdin, and you get a sword, and you pick up apples, and you can jump. So the sword's used for close range, the apples are used for long range attack.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that now. Yeah.
You don't have an infinite amount of apples. I think you start off with 10, and then you can collect more apples as you go through the level. There's quite a few apples you can pick up. When I was first running through, I was sort of like not really focusing on picking up the apples. It's a bit like when I play Sonic and I don't really collect all the rings. I just sort of rush through it.
Yeah.
But I realised that the apples are actually quite helpful the further you get into the games, or further into the levels. But yeah, Agrabah Market, you start off, and it's a really cool platform game with basically swipe attacking, really. But yeah, the enemies, mate, they are so hard. It's the thing which frustrated me was you would jump, or I would jump, and when I jumped, I'd like land on the same space as the enemy. So I then start.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
Well, I started swiping with my sword because I thought I could just jump, land, and swipe to like kill them, but it doesn't actually pick up the hit. So you actually need to be stood either side of the enemy character for your hit to register. And I found it really hard to get that out of my mentality for some strange reason playing this game. So forever I was like, because you come across like these guys who like throw knives at you. So I was like, right,
okay,
wait for the pattern. Like 3 knives a break, 3 knives a break, and it's in a continuous loop as well, so you can time it. So I was like, waiting for the break, and then I'd jump, but I'd jump and land on the guy. I'd then try and hit him with the sword, and I couldn't hit him with the sword, so I'd have to step back. And by the time I stepped back, I pretty much lost 3/4 of my health because the dude started throwing knives again. So I struggled with that. But yeah, it's the first level. You just basically jump through the level, and it's just get to the end. Basically, throughout the level, you can pick up. Well, maybe I'll talk a little bit more about that now. So you can pick up certain items throughout the level. So you can pick up gems. You can pick Abu tokens, the monkey. Abu. You can pick up genie tokens. You can get a black lamp smart bomb, which was pretty cool. I couldn't remember that. And you come across a blue vase, which is basically a checkpoint marker. So the gems, I couldn't remember this in the game, but you collect these gems, and then towards the end of most levels, you come across this guy called a peddler, and he basically opens up a shop, and then you can either spend 5 gems to get an extra life, or you can spend 10 gems to get a wish. And a wish is effectively an extra continue. I couldn't remember that.
Okay, yeah. No, I don't remember that either.
No, it's quite a good thing. You pick up a genie heart, and that restores your health. If you come across your Aladdin figure, that gives you an extra life. The Abu token, it gives you a bonus round. So at the end of the stage, if you've hit a Abu token, you then go to a bonus stage, and then in that bonus stage, you control Abu, and there's basically barrels falling from the sky. And when they fall, you may get a gem that drops as well. So it's basically dodge the barrels across the screen and try and pick up the gems. And then the more gems you collect gives you the ability to buy more lives or buy a wish in the next level, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I forgot about that as well.
Yeah, you get genie tokens, which I said earlier. If you get a genie token, this is like the earliest form of gambling I remember in a game. You get a genie token, and then if you complete the level within the same life that you collected that genie token, and you can collect multiple genie tokens, you get to have a chance on basically a fruit machine, which spins, and on it you can get apples, extra lives, continues, or you can also gems, but you can also hit Jafar. The second you hit Jafar, then that's basically like a lose line, and no matter how many genies you've collected, that's the end of your little bonus bit of getting extra bits and bobs. But that was pretty cool. I couldn't remember that. The black lamp smart bomb is basically what it says. you land on it, and it's a booby trap that explodes and kills enemies within the screen, which is pretty cool. I think the idea of it was that you lob an apple at the lamp, which triggers the lamp. I didn't do that. I
Right.
just sort of ran into the lamp, took the hit from the enemy, but then killed everything else on the screen. I think if I played
Yeah.
it a bit more sort of logically, I would have held off and thrown an apple at it. And yeah, like I said, the blue vase is a milestone marker, so at least when you die, you don't have to go back to the start of the level. You just start from that checkpoint spot, which is pretty cool. So Agrabah Market is a pretty relatively easy level. It eases you into the game. You come across palace guards, sword jugglers, and pot throwers. So pot throwers, I don't know if you can remember the little guys who open up the windows and chuck pots down at you to try and hit you as you're running along.
Yeah, I remember that.
The
Yeah.
sword juggler is the guy I was on about. He like juggles up knives and then throws three. I think it's like 2 second delay between each knife, but they're
Yeah.
pretty fucking accurate with these knives. It's like a homing missile basically. And then palace guards are just typical guys with swords. You get like different varieties of them. You get chubby ones, you get little skinny ones, you get tall ones, and then one of the larger guards, like when you hit him with an apple, his trousers fall down and show his boxer shorts, which is quite funny.
Right.
But yeah, it was a pretty cool level. I enjoyed playing it through. You then go into, well, I managed to get a boo. So I got a boo of Agrabah, or a boo in Agrabah, and I think I managed to collect 2 gems before I got smashed by a pot. Couldn't quite work out what happened there. So yeah, so I got a boo. So I managed to do the bonus stage. And then the game got hard. And
God.
Jacob decided that he didn't enjoy it as much anymore after that. So you go into the desert and you got to chase the scarab.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah, I think I remember
Yeah,
that.
so throughout the level, you come across this scarab, which you basically just jump into to trigger it. But then the scarab will fly onto the next part of a level. You then work your way through. And I think you got to hit this scarab 3 times before then finally the 4th time you complete the level. But fuck me, dude,
Yeah.
that level was hard. I lost like 6 lives doing that. And I ended up having to use the save state on the console we used to play these games on because I got sick and tired of having to restart the game, losing my continues,
Yeah.
and having to go back. So yeah, it's in the desert you get introduced to snakes as well and snake charmers. So the snakes, they remind me of, did you ever watch Robin Hood, the cartoon?
Film.
Yeah. The cartoon
Yeah.
film,
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay.
Can you
Yeah.
remember the snake in it?
Yes, I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name, but the snake in
No,
the
that's
game
bothering me.
looked a lot like the snake out of Robin Hood. Or that's where my mind went to anyway when I saw the snake. So I don't know if that
Yeah.
helps put a picture in these listeners' minds when I'm talking about this. But yeah, I basically chased this scarab through. I think it was like at least 9 times before I completed the level. It was very difficult, very difficult. And then you move back into Agrabah, and then you're on the rooftops. This is where you need to find the flutes. Now, this level was pretty cool. It's like these flutes, you hit a flute, and then you got like a snake charmer's basket, and the flute plays
Right.
a song or a tune so that the rope comes out. So then when you jump on the basket, the rope takes you up to a certain stage.
Yeah, I remember that now as well. Yeah.
But it's really cool. So it's not really puzzly because it's sort of set out for you 1, 2, 3. But you like sort of got to go up to get one flute. So there's like 3 baskets in a row. You then
Yeah.
get one flute, and then you go back down to the bottom to drop down to get to the second pot. That will take you to another area where you've then got to find another flute, and then you jump back down to get to the 3rd pot, and then that gives you the ability to then progress through the level.
Right.
The one thing I did find about this level, hidden lives seemed
Yeah.
impossible to get to.
Right. Yeah, it's like I was saying with Earthworm Jim. There was a couple that I just couldn't work out
Yeah.
how to get. I mean, there must be a way.
Right, because there
But-
are areas of this game where you can like go through the walls,
Right.
like secret tunnels, I guess. You know, on like Sonic,
Oh. Yeah.
where you used to be able to like, it looks as if like you're almost going back around the front of the screen, what you're seeing, and like you're going in behind the wall, sort of thing, and like you sort of lose your
Yeah.
character. There were bits like that, but like I could see Aladdin's face on the outside of what looked like a solid wall,
Right.
and there was no way I could see to go and get that extra life, which was really frustrating because I got more hooked on trying to find the extra life than I did actually then trying to complete that level. But I
Yeah.
never did get to the extra life, which was quite frustrating. And this is the first level where it introduces a boss at the end of the level as well.
Cool.
You get a mini boss on the way through. I don't know his name, but the way I've described him in my notes is a rolling dude with knives. So
Right.
it's this little dude who probably stands no more than like an inch and a half tall on your screen. The music changes, so I thought it was the end boss for that level at first. But the music changes, and then suddenly this little dude dressed in brown comes running onto your screen and just starts chucking knives at you. He throws two, and then if you're stood far enough away from him, he'll like roll towards you.
Yeah.
So at the point he rolls, you jump over him, hit him, and then bugger off, wait for him to throw two knives, hit roll. I picked that up pretty easily, to be fair. I started off by throwing apples at him, but I found out that apples don't do as much damage as the sword does.
Right.
So whereas like with a normal enemy, you chuck two apples and it will kill them. But if you give it one swipe of your sword, then it would kill them straight away. Which I guess in physics and the damage ability of an apple against a sword sort of makes sense in real life. Definitely a lot easier to die to a knife hitting you rather than an apple, I guess. It all depends where the apple hits you. But yeah, so that was the first mini boss I come across. And then I thought that was the end of that level, but it sort of the screen lit up and it was like you can carry on, and I was like, are you joking? So it was more fighting through enemies that were impossible to kill, and I come across this big boss guy called Raoul Barrel.
Barrel.
And you get to like a platform which has tiers down it, and then this boss guy is in the top right hand corner of the screen, and he is literally just chucking barrels at you.
Right.
I didn't realize it was a big boss guy at first. Like I just thought it was one of the normal enemies who was just like sort of chucking barrels at me. So I just kept on jumping up, hitting him with apples, and I actually done him first time.
Nice.
And after I beat him, I went straight through to the next level, which was pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty much as far as I got with Aladdin, to be honest.
Right.
I got another bonus level with a boo, which then took me into the Sultan's dungeon, which I thought I was then getting quite close towards the end of the game. And this is where I just completely lost it with the game because you get skeletons.
Right.
These skeletons explode. When they explode, their bones go off. There's no pattern to them at all. They just explode across the screen. One of these bones hits you, it knocks your health down. These skeletons just kept on beating the crap out of me. And it wasn't until I'd played the game for like another 2 hours today that I then realized that you have to hit the skeletons.
Okay.
Hit the skeletons, it stops them from exploding, and therefore you control the bone explosion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't work that out playing it last night and got frustrated with it. Played it again for a couple of hours today, and I just couldn't get past that level. Just couldn't do it, and that's where I turned the game off.
Fair enough.
But no, I really enjoyed the game. It's a difficult game. I'd put it up there with as difficult as Lion King. I still don't know anyone who's completed Lion King. I did have a little look on YouTube though to see whether this game had a reasonable sort of gameplay time to like complete it. And someone on YouTube, not a speed run, had done it in 49 minutes.
Oh wow.
Which sort of puts my probably 5 hours, 5.5 hours in total on this game to shame, really. That I didn't get any further than what I did. And yeah, that's pretty much Aladdin, in all honesty.
Yeah.
It was good. You come across Zazu as well. Zazu? Was it Zazu? No, that's Lion King. What was his name?
The parrot. I thought that was Zazu.
Was it Zazu? Was it Zazu in
voiced
Lion
by Rowan Atkinson?
No, that was Lion King.
Oh, okay.
Aladdin. What was the Aladdin parrot's name?
Can't remember them.
I should really know this. No, I can't remember. But yeah, you come across that guy, and whilst you're going across washing lines in Agrabah, and you swipe him with a sword, and he turns into what looks like a cooked chicken sort of thing. All his feathers drop off, and he does a stupid little scream, and then falls off the screen. But yeah, man, it was okay. It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was better than Shaq Fu. Definitely better than Shaq Fu. Yeah, apologies, I haven't got much more on it, but I didn't get round to playing it for as long as I would have liked to. But yeah, my apologies, listeners.
So you've gone from typing to scrolling while you're talking.
Sorry, I meant to turn that off. There we go. You can't hear it now.
What? Put my ear to the microphone.
To the microphone.
That doesn't work. That makes no sense. Cool.
So yeah,
I can't remember much about Aladdin at all, the game or the film, if I'm honest.
I watched a new version of Aladdin, the one with Will Smith as the genie.
There's a new one? What?
Yeah, there was a remake. So, like Disney have gone through remaking all these films. They've done the new Dumbo, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King.
Oh, yeah. So we tried watching Lion King. I remember Dumbo now. I've not seen it or not seen anything about it since I first heard about it. I forgot
What was your
about
thoughts
Aladdin,
on Lion
though.
King?
Oh, we didn't get very far through it.
No, I turned it off.
We put it on for Soren, and he wasn't that interested, so we turned it off.
Okay. Yeah, I was getting really excited about watching it because Lion King is like one of my favourite films of all time.
Yeah.
And I thought the remake was absolutely dog crap,
Oh dear.
if I'm honest. That might not go down well with some listeners. But Aladdin was really cool. I thought Will Smith played the genie, but it's quite hard stepping in the shoes of Robin Williams
Yeah.
to try and fulfill that role. But I thought he'd done it okay. Robin Williams would always be the best genie, though.
Yeah.
I'll get a few people back on my side, I know, especially the Star Wars listeners who I've lost. Hopefully I get you back to that comment. I do love Robin Williams. He's awesome. But yeah, man, that's Aladdin.
Cool. Do you want to hear about Echo the Dolphin?
Mate, I've been waiting
So,
for this.
Good. So, right. Echo the Dolphin. Oh, I should get my notes up. Echo the Dolphin. Earthworm Jim was developed by Shiny Entertainment and released in 1994. I forgot to say that one for Earthworm Jim earlier. I just remembered when I was doing Echo the Dolphin. Echo the Dolphin was developed by Appaloosa Interactive.
Ooh.
Never heard of that one.
Nope.
First released in 1992. 23rd of December 1992.
That's an odd release date.
Yeah. They normally release, I think it's September time for Christmas sales now.
Yeah.
That is very odd.
Well, I think Call of Duty comes out in November, ready for Christmas.
Yeah.
Normally. I think FIFA's like September. But yeah, wow. 23rd of December. Wow.
We might have some experts out there that can tell us what that release was like. If you were around, I think I was like 6 at the time, so I wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, that was interesting. Anyway.
Echo the Dolphin, dude.
Echo the Dolphin.
I'm looking forward to this. The first thing I want to ask is, did you enjoy playing Echo the Dolphin? Because it got a lot of stick on our Facebook draw when it got drawn out of the hat.
Yeah, and I did. I think
Yes.
I was more intrigued with the storyline, but I liked it. You know, it wasn't until the very end of playing it, I almost stopped playing it and then discovered something, and then I was like, do you know what? This game is really quite clever. So I like it, and I really wanted to keep playing it, but it's massive. You know, it's a huge game. But what if I told you, and you can use the old Matrix meme for our YouTube if you want. What if I told you Echo the Dolphin is about aliens and time travel?
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, there's going to be some people out there who know that already. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
But I'll come back to that later. I want to talk about what all the notes I took while playing it first, and I'll come back to, because I checked out the storyline today. I watched like an hour-long video of some guy playing it.
I'm genuinely excited to hear you talk about this game.
Aliens and time travel.
Aliens and time travel.
Oh, and you go to the city of Atlantis.
Wow.
Which is quite cool.
That's pretty awesome.
So yeah, you start you start and you're swimming around in the ocean, like sonaring other dolphins. I don't know what the right word is. I don't know the right word for that.
I'd go with that.
Sonaring.
Yeah.
And these are the dolphins that give you tips of how to play the game and everything. Nothing too crazy, nothing too interesting. And I was just swimming around this pool of water for ages. You know, there was nowhere to go. I went everywhere. I went down. I went to both ends. And at some point, I have no idea how I triggered it, but some kind of tornado picks up all of the other dolphins and sort of whisks them away, like a dolphinado. But no, that's what it's like. That is what it's like. So, like I said, I didn't know how I triggered it. The second time I played through it, I sort of was jumping around, and then you got to jump out of the water like quite high,
Right.
and that's how it triggers it. I think, oh yeah, I didn't. There was one dolphin who challenges you to see how high you can jump, and that's how you're meant to trigger it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So you listen to that guy and go, oh no, hang on, I fucked up. You get through to the next bit, and you speak to a dolphin, and all he says is, "Suddenly, great winds of water." I think the translation for this might have been a bit bad. I really wanted to actually go through and get everything every dolphin says, because it's all short sentences, so I probably could have said them all of them that you see throughout the game in this, and it wouldn't have taken too long, and it wouldn't have bored the listeners for too long. But I didn't do that in the end. But yeah, suddenly great winds of water. In the second, you get to the second level, and I didn't know where to go. It was just this massive. You're in the ocean. You know, I went left, right, all the way to the bottom as far as I could see. There was like islands of rocks that you could jump over, but you go underneath them as well. Now, I couldn't use extreme lefting in this game. Because of that, it made it impossible to use extreme lefting, which is one of my favourite go-tos for puzzly stuff, which was annoying. So I was like, this is a stupid game already. Like, I can't, there's no logic. It's just mindless wandering to find where you're supposed to go. But I did find a little place, little opening of where you're supposed to go. And then I could extreme left. So it was all good in the end.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so like I think you come across this orca in that bit. There's a bit of a maze, and he tells you some other weird stuff, badly translated. Also, you get through that. It's quite simple to go through that. There's nothing too. I think it's just the crystals that you've got to do. So some people might remember you come across these blue crystals that you have to use your sonar to push away. But a lot of the time you have to go and find another blue crystal to give you the power to do that. It's sort of, to give you like these circles that go into your body.
Okay. Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah. So I mean, the first level wasn't too difficult. The second level, I spent about 2 hours on it. It was hard. It was crazy. I knew exactly what I was supposed to do. I just couldn't put it off. I couldn't execute it. And so at one point, the way you're meant to go is blocked off by these 5 rocks, 5 boulders or something, and you're meant to get above it and push this kind of spiky shell down, and then follow it down, and then push the shell to the right while it's falling.
Yeah.
And it took me quite a few attempts to do that. I couldn't do it every time, which was frustrating, because then when I got a bit further and I died, I had to go back to the beginning level and do that all over again, and it took me ages every time to do it.
Do you think that's why they gave you the other blue crystals in the first level, to get you used to the idea of using your sonar to push something?
You can't use your sonar to push it. You have to physically push it.
Oh, you have to physically push it. Oh, yeah. Right. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
okay.
So it's difficult because you've got to get just below it and then turn, because it's obviously not a free moving game. Like, you press right and you sort of do a right angle turn first, and then you can start swimming. So again, there's a bit of a delay between being able to move, and so you've got to get the timing just right to actually push it across to these boulders, which was frustrating. Another thing actually I haven't spoken about is you have to keep going up for water. For water, you're already in water. You have to keep going up for air, if you remember that.
Yeah, because don't you get oxygen bubbles? And I may be skipping on some of your notes here, but you get oxygen bubbles at the bottom as well, don't you, in some parts of the levels?
Yeah.
I think
you might
stay under for longer.
So I saw that in the video, the guy was doing that in a video, but I think he got an ability that let him do that. Maybe I could do it. I just didn't know I could.
Okay.
But like, he gained the ability throughout the game to be able to do it.
Cool.
But yeah, when I was playing it, I didn't know you could do that. So maybe I could, and maybe I made it harder for myself.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. So yeah, you got to go through this tunnel where you've unblocked it.
Yeah.
Get to a blue crystal, come back on yourself, and then you've got to go through to another bit where you come across an octopus, and a blue crystal has given you a hint to say, swim slowly past the one with 8 legs or whatever, or something along those lines.
Okay.
And a few times I didn't swim slow enough, and he hurts. He really hurts when he hits you. And so that's one of the reasons why I kept having to go back to the beginning and do that spiky bit again.
Right.
And once I got past that, you have to, you start running out of air quite quickly, and I'm usually running out of life as well. So there was quite a few attempts where I did manage to get past this octopus, but then I ran out of air, or I came across something else that killed me pretty quickly, which then meant I again had to go back to this spike thing, which was stupid.
Bloody
So it was really frustrating, because like that spike thing was what did it, I think. That first level was frustrating. The second level, you come across this dolphin that says that I've lost my pod. They're trapped underneath because of the currents. This one, it was quite a big level left to right, and I was trying everything. I was going at there was 2 openings at the bottom of the screens, and they had like these currents pushing you up.
Okay.
So I had no idea. I spent a little while on that level trying to work out where I was supposed to go, and I had no idea where I was supposed to go. This is the point where I was saying I almost put it down and was just like, nah, fuck this game. I hate this game. It's a stupid game. And then just at the end, I realized you can push these rocks, similar to the spiky bit. You can push these rocks and then follow them down. And I suppose you get into sort of their slipstream, so the current doesn't push you back up.
Okay.
And like I said, so that was the bit that made me go, okay, so this game is a lot more puzzly than I realised, and it's actually quite clever. It's really quite clever, I thought. I really wanted to play it more after that, but I'd pretty much run out of time. I didn't really have much more time to play it after that, so I didn't bother. But I really was intrigued by the storyline. Did I say that already? Maybe I didn't. I said it at the beginning, but
yeah,
I wanted to know what this Great Winds of Water was about. Because there's another one that says something about magical water or something like that, and I was like, it's actually telling me what's going on in this game.
Yeah.
Not like Earthworm Jim, that stupid dickhead. It's actually telling me what's going on, and I am interested. I really want to know what's going on, but I wouldn't have completed it in the time. So, which is why I looked it up today, and which is how I found out it's about aliens and time travel.
That's mental.
So I want to read you a bit about the storyline. I went on to Wikipedia to get the plot, and I took the important bits. It looks like a lot on the screen, but it won't take very long. So it says, a giant waterspout forms and sucks up all marine life in the bay except Echo. An orca Echo encounters tells him to travel to the Arctic to meet the Big Blue, an old blue whale. Echo finds the Big Blue, who informs the dolphin the storms occur every 500 years. He suggests Echo find the asterite, the oldest life form on Earth. The asterite greets Echo, telling him, though it has the power to aid him, the asterite cannot because orbs from its body have been lost. The asterite tells him to go to the sunken ruins. The asterite tells him to go to the sunken ruins of the city of Atlantis to use the time machine left behind by the Atlanteans.
What the fuck?
From the library, Echo learns the origins of the storms, an alien race known as the Vortex. Every 500 years, when the planets align, they use their technology to harvest the waters of Earth. The Atlanteans fought a long war with the Vortex that ended when a beam struck Atlantis from space, sending the city into the depths of the ocean. Learning this, he activates the time machine and travels 55 million years into Earth's past.
What the fuck?
You got fucking dinosaurs in those levels, and It looks like volcanoes all underwater and everything. It's
Jesus.
awesome.
This game is massive.
I know, right? I cannot. This is similar to when you said about the Golden Axe at the end of Golden Axe. It's like, how many of these games are we going to find like hidden gems, like hidden awesomeness?
So Sketzz, when I played Echo the Dolphin, all I remember, I think I remember the octopus, but literally all I remember is swimming around in what I would classify as like the top of the ocean, because obviously you've gone deeper.
Yeah.
All I remember is swimming around top of the ocean. I remember the bit around like having to get air bubbles because you run out of air. So I guess at some point in the game I would have had to spend more time in the lower depths. But that's as far as my recollection of the game goes.
Yeah.
For never in my life would I have imagined that fucking time machines are involved. Atlantis traveling 55 million years back in time, and dinosaurs and volcanoes, and wow.
Yeah. I've
That's
not finished yet either.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, so again, this I am really interested to hear from people and what their thoughts on this is. Obviously, there's going to be people who have got this far and would know about it, but I don't think it's going to be many. So where did I get to in our story? See, I've got this written down, so this story time with me is it actually in order?
I think you got to 55 million years.
Yeah. Echo locates the asteroid in the past, but is immediately attacked by it, forced into battle. He manages to dislodge a globe from it. This opens a time portal, and he is sent back into the present. After receiving the globe, the asteroid grants him the power to turn his sonar into a deadly weapon against the vortex.
Bloody hell.
The asteroid instructs him to use the time machine to travel back in time to the hour of the harvest. This time he manages to be sucked up into the waterspout with his pod. Echo is sent flying through outer space to a giant tube-like machine. He makes his way to the Vortex Queen and engages her in a fight. When the Queen is defeated, she spits out Echo's pod she ate, and they make their quick escape back to Earth.
Is that the end?
The end.
Mate, that is some trippy ass fucking game.
Yeah. So, I'm not sure about the releases actually. I know there was Echo Tides of Time, and so that, I think that might be in the second one.
Okay.
That title makes a lot more sense now, because you probably time travel in that one as well.
Yeah. Wow, you wouldn't have picked that up though.
No.
Wow. My mind's actually blown.
Yeah.
I didn't realise Echo the Dolphin was that deep. Pardon the pun. But yeah. Wow. Mate, awesome. I think you've done that game a lot more justice than what I would have done talking about it. That's really cool. That is really cool.
But yeah, another thing I was going to mention earlier, what I was supposed to mention was with the bit I was talking about with the octopus, and to me from that level it seemed like you had to execute everything perfectly or near perfectly, and that's another reason why I didn't want to carry on, because I knew it would take a lot of time and practice to be able to learn the levels and then execute each thing you need to do like almost perfectly. It just didn't. Like I was saying earlier, these games needed to be like that to have longevity. Yeah.
Wow.
And I think I misspoke last week as well, or last episode, because I said I don't have the patience for games like this. We shouldn't be doing a podcast about these games if I didn't have the patience for them. I do have the patience for them. It's just we don't have the time that you need to be able to play these games.
I completely agree with that. But yeah, man, it's wow. I honestly didn't know Echo the Dolphin was that in depth. That's crazy. That is crazy. I might actually go and get Echo the Dolphin at some point again and give it a go. I want to see this time machine.
Oh, by the way, that was again, sorry, that was suggested by Billy Morgan and of course Dave Hill. They both wrote it on the post. We have had a few other games that we need to add to it, since we haven't actually put a post up asking, but people have commented on it. So yeah, I think we've probably got another 3 or 4 games to put in the hat.
Yeah.
Which brings me to actually our format of how we're going to do these. So we were chatting, weren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, and playing games that have been suggested by you guys seems to be quite popular. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do that every other week. So we'll have like a 4-week
Rota.
rotation. What were you going to say?
4-week rota.
Rota.
We got a shift
yeah,
pattern. We got a shift pattern.
Yeah, a 4-week rotation. So next week we'll be playing games that we pick for ourselves. Then we'll play games that you have picked for us. Then we'll play games that we pick for each other. And then the 4th week, again, games that you've picked for us. I think that is how we're going to be looking to do it.
I think, yeah, that's the best way to go forwards. I think it gets a bit more interaction with you listeners. You'll get to see our beautiful faces again on Facebook Live. So, thank you for everyone who tuned in as well and shared the posts. Thank you very much if you're listening to this episode. We really appreciate it. You've done us wonders. Me and Sketzz are not hitting the heights of fame, but I think that video got up to, last time I looked, like 3.2k views on Facebook, which is pretty insane. Whether people just sort of saw our ugly mutt faces and then just switched us off again, I don't know. But it said 3.2k. It's probably a little bit more than that now, but that was through all you guys sharing and chucking it around. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was cool.
But yeah, man, I think that's a good way to do it. Yeah, a bit of spontaneous. Well, I can't say that word. But
I'm keeping that in as well, by the way.
Thank you, mate.
No worries.
Yeah, I'm not going to try it again. But that word,
please do.
No. The last 15 minutes of this episode is just going to be me trying to pronounce the word. Say it, dude.
Spontaneity.
That's the one. Thank you, mate. Cheers, Sketzz.
I think that's right. I could be wrong now.
I
doubt myself too much.
It makes more sense than me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so nice little roll into that there, mate. And we can leave our hat on. So then, Sketzz, now we move on to the part of the episode where it's question time.
Question time? Oh, maybe I should put a jingle in there.
Oh yeah, maybe you could find one.
Yeah.
That'll work.
I'll have a look.
Yeah, have a look.
If not, just this talking about it is good enough.
Yeah, it's a good jingle.
Yeah.
So we ask you guys if you've got any questions that you'd like us to try and address during the episode. And we've had a couple of questions.
Yeah.
The first question was from Michaela Fitzgerald. Do you think the internet has taken some of the fun away from gaming, especially in story-type games where you have to make choices? You can easily look at a forum and see what you need to do or what is the best choice. Very good question, Michaela.
Yeah.
I think, well, I know Sketzz has got some bits and bobs he wants to talk about this. I've got my own view on it, but go for it, Sketzz.
Yeah, so I think you're absolutely right there. My own experiences, I do that way too much. I've ruined a couple of games. Well, not ruined. I ruined Skyrim for myself doing that. I think it was when it was first out. I rented it for several weeks from Blockbusters, and I came across this video. It was a little cheat. You could. There was a book that you find that gives you 5 stats in whatever of your choice.
Okay.
And you can you pick the book up and you can place it back on the bookshelf instead of dropping it. So you just keep picking it up. I think it was probably 120, 150 times I had to do it. So I kept having to save it every 20 because I accidentally put the book down or something. And and so I maxed out my stats, and I'm pretty sure I've still got the save on my PS3 with it. But that was before the first DLC with werewolves and vampires came into it, I think, didn't they? But I've never picked the game up since because it was too easy. It wasn't a challenge. So I just ruined it for myself because everything was too easy after that.
I think other games as well where you can get builds, for example, League of Legends.
Yeah.
I don't try and work it out for myself the best build for a character. It's a lot easier just to go onto a LoL guide and just see what other players are using at this time to find what the meta is, basically. And I think I get why I do it, because I want to survive in the games, but then it also takes away that ability to understand items and what certain things do within that game as well, because I just become dependent on these guides rather than learning it for myself, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
I still do the same on Heroes of the Storm. And like I was saying earlier, my favourite character, Karazdim, I know him inside out, which is why I'm good with him.
Yeah.
But other ones, I just bring a website up to find what the best build is. And I did the same with Hearthstone as well, actually. So I was pretty good at Hearthstone, yeah, like straight from the first day. You know, there's probably going to be a lot of people out there who have no idea, but for the people who do, I got my first gold hero, which is Rexar, in about 5 weeks.
Wow.
I managed to get to, like, the first time I got to rank 5 was after 3 weeks of playing, and that's because I was learning the game. I was looking at my deck as I was playing and working out what cards I needed to go in there.
Okay.
And then after that, I was just looking up different decks to play instead of actually learning it, and I never really got that much better. Well, I mean, I got a bit better, but I never hit Legend because I didn't know the game,
Yeah, okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, I just used you for Hearthstone. You built me that Tempo Mage deck, and that got me far enough without really understanding what I had to do with it, to be honest. But yeah, it's like, I guess this is where like Twitch and stuff comes into play now as well, doesn't it? Like, for example, when I watch Crip playing Battlegrounds, Hearthstone Battlegrounds,
Yeah.
not that I remember the stuff he does very well, as I stated at the beginning of this episode, but you do watch other gamers play games to try and pick up certain ways of doing things rather than trying to learn it for yourself. So, Michaela, I think from me and Sketzz, we do believe that the internet has taken some fun out of the games. I think we can safely say.
And I mean, it's so fun if you don't use a guide as well.
Yeah.
I've been playing Spyro again recently. Well, play it most days because my son wants to play it. But and so some days we'll sit there for a few hours on it, and I'll be really interested in like spending a long time looking through all the secret areas in these levels instead of just going straight to a guide. And you get so much more out of it without using a guide or cheats or anything like that.
Yeah,
But that's what it's come to.
well, it's just at the tip of your fingers now, though, isn't it? It's like you don't even have to have the internet. Well, you've got to have the internet, but you don't even have to have a computer to do it now. You can be on your phone whilst you're playing the game and just have a quick Google, like, oh, I'm stuck on this bit. Generally, like the first 2 searches comes up results, and it's like, oh, right, yeah, that's how I do it. Brilliant, sort of thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it can take away hours of gameplay.
Yeah, and free to play games. I hate free to play games because they're so easy to access. But there's so many games available now as well. I think, like, again, going back to what you said last episode about like when you go and buy that game from the store and you cherish that game because you spend a lot of money on it, so you spend hours and hours, days, weeks, months on that one game. You love it. But now, there's so many games, too many games available that you don't want to just sit on one game.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, World of Warcraft, I've done that, but
yeah,
you don't want to just sit on one game for months. And they all try and keep your attention for as long as possible by adding extra little bits every couple of weeks or something.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And it's really weird as well, like how many, I can't think of the right word, but like your Blizzards, your Epics and all that are actually giving you free games, which a year or two ago would have cost like 30-40 quid to buy as well. Like GTA 5, for example, at the moment, that's free to buy, free to install from Epic. So anyone listening to this, I don't know if it will still be free by the time this podcast gets released, but check out the Epic store, and it's worth looking at the Epic store every now and again if you're a PC gamer, because they're doing a lot of titles for free. So that's some little hint and tip there if you guys weren't aware. But yeah, it's just crazy how readily available these games are now.
Yeah, I could talk about this for
a long
hours.
Time.
Yeah, should we go on to the next one? Yeah.
Okay, so the next question was from a Mike Goldberg, and his question is: if 2020 was a game, I reckon it would be COD and a crappy PC puzzle game. Also, what's your favourite sausage roll? Well, Mike, I can answer the sausage roll question really easy. My favourite sausage roll, I think as many other people's as well, is Greg's. I love a good
Yeah.
Greg's sausage roll. Although they've gone up in price lately. I'm not too happy about that.
Oh, have they?
Yeah. Yeah. I think you used to be able to get like 3 for £1. I don't think you can do that anymore. But there again, it's been a while since I've had a Greg's sausage roll. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, in relation to if 2020 was a game, he reckons it'd be COD. I think he might have listened to the podcast. Sketzz.
Yeah, I think he might be having a bit of a dig, but he's an extra listener, so thank you. We appreciate it.
I don't know what 2 games I would pick.
I don't.
I think if I could pick, well, what's that mobile game? Plague.
Oh, Plague Inc.
Plague Inc. Purely because
Yeah.
of the pandemic, and maybe something like, I don't know, some like Theme Hospital. I reckon.
Oh,
Theme Hospital. There we go. That's my 2 games. But yeah, thanks, Mike, for your question, mate.
Yeah.
And I hope you approve of our sausage roll choice.
yeah. I don't know what game I would pick because I like to be kind of witty, but also clever with these kind of things, and I haven't got enough time to think of something that fits that. I'll get back to you next week. In 2 weeks.
On the next episode.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah. I don't think I'm ever going to get bored of using that pause button sound. And the perks of being the editor, I've been able to take a couple of days to think about what game I would choose. I think I'm going to have to go with This War of Mine. Don't think it was a huge game. I think I got it for free on the PlayStation at some point, but I haven't really played it much. I've got the board game, which I've played, and which is amazing. In fact, Plague Inc. is also a board game. But yeah, that's my choice. Thank you, Mike.
So Sketzz, we also got a review as well on Facebook. Our first review.
Yeah, it was from Billy Morgan, wasn't it? I did notice it's not a proper review. It seems like Facebook don't do reviews anymore. They don't do like the 1 to 5 star reviews or whatever they are.
I know it's a recommendation, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a recommendation, which I don't really understand, but it's awesome all the same. Thank you, Bill.
So yeah, as part of Facebook as well, you get top fans. So Sketzz, we get
yes.
top fans. So
I became a top fan yesterday.
you did. So I'm going to give shout outs to all our top fans.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
So our number 1 top fan. Well, I say our number 1 top fan. You're all number 1 top fans, but number 1 on the list is Sketzz. Congratulations, Sketzz.
Thank you.
We've got Billy Morgan, Matthew Mayers, Matt Dunbar, David Uthwaite, Stuart Tracy, Chris Chantry, Kelly Hall, Mike Ferris, and Rich Cook. So thank you very much, guys. Yeah, thank you very much. That's incredible.
Yeah, awesome.
We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Yeah, and like you're saying, it's that interaction that we need to help grow us. Like I said last week, it's just telling your friends about us is the best thing you can do for us. When you comment and like, it sort of shows it to your friends, which is amazing. I don't really know how the Facebook algorithm works, but yeah, it just seems to show your friends everything you do. So if you do stuff with us, it'd be awesome.
Thank you.
Anyway, should we read out Billy Morgan's recommendation?
Yeah. So Billy Morgan's recommendation. Sorry, Bill. Thank you, buddy. So Billy Morgan has recommended us on Facebook. This podcast is definitely worth a listen. It has a little of everything. Games, idiots, and pigeons. What more could you ask for? Cheers, Bill.
And now time traveling, alien fighting dolphins.
Yes. Thank you very much, Bill. We really appreciate the recommendation. Top man.
Yeah, thank you, Bill. Yeah, that's awesome. And that list is just going to get bigger and bigger.
Oh, yes. Because we are an amazing podcast. So, next week, Sketzz, we will be playing games that we have chosen ourselves. If I've got our rotation right.
Yeah, it's been a little while since we've done that,
Yeah,
so I haven't really thought about it.
Yeah, I was just about to say, have you got any thoughts on what you might be playing?
No, maybe I'll play Tunnel B1.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a look through the scrapbook and see what I can come up with. I got 1 or 2 ideas. I've been thinking micro machines.
Yeah.
I love micro machines. But then I might want to save micro machines for when we're doing a live stream or something, because I think that might be quite fun for us both to play.
Yeah.
So, but I'll have a think and I'll have a little chat with you as well off stream and see what we can come up with. But yeah, so next week we will be picking our game. So we'll now move on to the part of the episode where we give our shout outs and our thanks.
Cool. Yeah.
So first shout out goes to Riskit Pixel Zero. He has a Fiverr store, Pixel Zero, PIXELZERO. On there, he creates PDF documents, Minecraft servers, Discord servers, domain hosting with email, and also website design. A shout out to Matt Dunbar, Retro Heroes. He has an eBay store, Retro Heroes, RETROHEROES. He also has a Facebook page, spelled exactly the same. On Retro Heroes, he buys, sells, and professionally refurbishes retro computers, consoles, and games. Our final shout out goes to Faye Frost. Faye Frost has created all our awesome new artwork. If you like what she does, you can check her out at Faye Frost on Facebook, at _Faye Frost_ on Instagram. And if you would like to get any of her work or purchase any of her work, she takes commission submissions with the email address frostart.requests@gmail.com. That's FROSTART.REQUESTS@gmail.com.
Good stuff. Yeah, big thank you to you guys who've helped us get started with this.
Yeah, we really appreciate your help, guys. Thank you.
Cool. So shall we wrap this up?
Sounds good, man. Well, guys and girls, hope you've enjoyed listening. Stay safe, support the pod, and spread the word. If you'd like to follow us, you can on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube using the handle @MenPodcastingBadly. Speak to you in a fortnight. We've been Men Podcasting Badly.
I really should say something here, shouldn't I? I don't know what to say. If you have any ideas, let us know. And I'll try them.
Game over.